what projects is CITeR working on at the moment?
Yes, so we have typically 15 projects that we're funding over the course of a year, so they're in a variety of areas. We cover many of the modalities, face, fingerprint, but also novel modalities like we have a project focused on using cardiac radar as a biometric. We have a project that we're focusing on biometrics in children where there is challenges in terms of growth over time and some fundamental science that we want to put behind that. We also have projects in statistics, looking at representing large databases and understanding biometrics in those large databases. Some of our research is on the computing side, being able to rapidly do processing, particularly as we move to video processing, where there's a lot of challenges in terms of doing things not just at the back end, but doing things in real time to point things out.
What benefits do you find affiliates are getting from the model created by CITeR?
Yeah, when you work with the university, you're using them in part, you have your own research, but using as a research arm to work with the university. In the center, our research, every dollar that comes from industry goes straight into research. There's no overhead taken out, which you would do in a normal university project. Additionally, we leverage the dollars with others who might have similar interest for your research. And yet, in the meantime, you're also doing some things on your own in parallel. So that partnership, I think, is a great way. So the ivory tower kind of comes down a little bit and really is engaged in the real world problems that people have.
Do you think sometimes the government and industry have different expectations about how the biometric industry is going to grow?
Yeah, I mean, certainly over the last decade, biometrics has been very much focused in the government space. And the things we learned in that government space, I think, are becoming fundamental in how we do business. And it'll be very helpful as now things are emerging in the commercial space. There are differences, and there are special needs as we look at biometrics in the commercial space, things like liveness, things like usability and convenience. Of course, privacy is important for both spaces, but maybe there might be a different kind of take on how things are handled. And so I think it's an interesting time to be in biometrics. It always has been, but in particular, I think the next 5 years are going to be very exciting.
Great. And what do you think about the concept behind Connect ID, sort of bringing different aspects of the identity sphere under one roof? Does that fit well with CITeR's sort of outlook?
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly what we're trying to do from the research perspective, is to communicate across industry, academia, and government, and not-for-profits. And so that makes sense for research, but also this kind of environment is really talking about the application space. That's why it's relevant. That's why we're all here.
Yeah.
And so being able to do that communication in Connect ID has been extremely valuable for us.